I showed you one way of doing a people picker using the Office 365 connector, which is a great out-of-the-box experience. But what if you didn't have an Office 365 subscription? How do you end up using this? Let's create a table of all the users that we have. I go into a resource like Google Sheets, Microsoft Excel, create a table. I'll just put some basic information about my users. This is a good time to talk about some best practices with creating a table. I'll start with some of the columns that I want, a first name. It's important that when you type in columns, column names are best without any spaces. You'll find out that if you put a space inside a column, some of the formatting will come out differently than you'd expect. Inside this, we'll give this table a name. We'll call this students. I'll name this sheet as well. Call it students. I'll paste in some information. Paste in values. And let me get rid of this row right here. Our table's ready. Let's go back inside our app. If I go to View Data Sources again, I add a data source. This time I'll add connection to my sheets. I'll click Create to create this connection. I only need to do this once. Once this is finished, I'll be able to use this connector in any of the apps that I have. Allow the permissions. I'll add those students. Select the table of the students. Connect. Going back to this gallery, right now, the items property is set to that Office 365 users connector. If I change this to students, the name of my table, I'm going to need to change whatever text this shows. Right now, I show the first name, but what if I wanted to combine first name and last name? I can do that with an action called concatenation. That simply means sticking text together. The first name, if I use the and symbol, I can connect it to the last name. You'll see that if I put in the last name, there's no space between there. I can add a space by typing text inside quotes. Here, I'm using a quotation mark, typing in a space, putting in an end quotation mark to finish up the space there. I put in another and symbol, and it places that space in between the first name and the last name. You'll also notice I had some spaces in between. The thing is, spaces that are not in between quotation marks don't really count. So if I really wanted to, I could add as many spaces as I want. That's just to help me read this formula a little bit better. So that's two ways that you could use a people picker, and another way of showing this selected person. So I could choose their first name. I could even choose the name of that label, which is Title 4. It has that same formula that I selected.